Hello everybody, and this is Chaos with Chaos Esports Productions, bringing you another Bronze to Masters League game. This is game number 2 as Diamond League. I hope you guys have been enjoying the series. And this game is going to be... Now, in the last video, I think I called the map Derelict something, and actually that's this map. I didn't see the other part of the name, which is unfortunate. But, anyways, we're going to be looking at a PvP. Now, PvP... As you guys have known, I have been switching it up a little bit and playing a little bit of DT play, a little bit of DT drops, things like that. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing moving. Now, this game was by far the weirdest PvP I have ever played. It was just, in general, very awkward. And this is mainly a function of neither of us... Well, he ended up going Stargate and did a very, very bad job. I mean, I guess he didn't do a bad job. He took out a lot of probes, but didn't really do anything behind it. So I'm going to slow it down. Now we went in and we noticed that his cybernetics core was actually a little bit late compared to ours. So ours is already done and Warp Gate is being researched, and he actually skips it altogether. Well, that's kind of interesting. I could have probably gone with a 4-gate and just annihilated this. Interesting. So basically behind this, I'm getting a stalker up. I'm going to be planting down my Twilight Council once I get the probe out and heading toward DTs. Now, the timing on the gas, usually I try and get the second gas before my cybernetics core is up. That way I can have extra mining time on it to get the Dark Shrine out as quick as possible, and then as many DTs as I can. So, let's see, I don't remember if I had it already scouted at this point. Yeah, so when I went up with my probe about, let's see, it was probably about 30 seconds ago. Maybe a little bit before that. Yeah, a little bit before that. Yeah, okay, so my probe is sitting down here. We're kind of waiting for either him to come down and try and expand or something to happen, but we go in and we don't see anything. Now, one thing I should have done is I should have mineral clicked through, and that would have guaranteed me getting in. So at this point, I haven't seen anything from him, so I'm a little bit worried. So with that, I kind of, you know, he's probably doing one of two things. He's either going Stargate or he's going DTs just like me. In the case that he's going DTs just like me, if I get a single cannon in my mineral line, I win. If he's going Stargate, I'm not winning per se. I don't have to worry about him trying to pick up probes and whatnot, because he's probably not going to want to. So he tries to get in with his probe. He does. He didn't really see that much. He saw the Twilight Council, but he didn't really see anything. So now, one thing that I tried to do was I tried to just kind of, like, he didn't have the cannons up at the time, so I was just like, well, I'm going to go in with a handful of DTs and a stalker and see what can happen. And he had 2 cannons up, so he was more or less safe from that. So at this point, I've got 1 DT sitting back here, and I'm going to be putting down a robo. I built this extra cannon just in case, like, he was going DTs, because I still didn't know whether or not he was going DT or Stargate. I think the one downfall to this build is by far, you don't get a lot of units very fast. You're kind of sitting here waiting for something to happen with your DTs, and I think this is kind of my fault. I probably should have, knowing that I was going for this long-term drop, I should have probably already put down the expansion and kind of cannoned up the mineral line. That probably is what should have happened, because at this point, if he just keeps getting Stargate unit or Phoenixes, he can just, you know, kind of do whatever. So I get in here and kind of see what's going on. I see that he's expanding, and at this point, my DTs are going to be meeting up with. He just barely missed my my warp prism. And I'm going to be getting on an expansion. Now, basically what I've learned is sometimes you can get away with having just a very little army up front, and then walking in, attacking the main, and then dropping in the back, and he won't know about it. So something you guys might want to try out as a, you know, kind of a different strategy. So DTs get in. I take out a fair amount of probes, actually, and he loses quite a bit of mining time from it. So I'm thinking I'm doing pretty good. Now, I should have focused down the pylon a lot faster. He comes in. I do a decent amount of damage, but obviously he gets a little bit... I mean, he's got the Phoenix, so he can really deal with my pressure. But I've done a lot of damage as far as killing probes. He hasn't really done any damage as far as probes goes, so I feel like I'm ahead. Now, one thing I didn't notice is, obviously, this gas is not mining gas because he picked up the workers and killed them. And behind this, I'm expanding. So I'm kind of in a tough spot at this point because I'm very mineral heavy, as you can see, as a function of not mining this gas. So basically, what this game boiled down to was, one, not mining that gas, and two, not getting up an adequate enough cannon defense to deal with the Phoenix, because he basically just built a whole bunch of Phoenix. I couldn't kill any of them, and at that point he just continued to pick up probes, kill them, and it just didn't go very well. Behind this, he's got two bases fully, I don't want to say fully mining, because obviously his main is a little iffy. But at this point, I'm really behind, and I can't come back. And basically the reasoning is he's got these Phoenix, they've got a ton of energy, and I can't really do anything about it. So I was gonna go for Templar, but as mentioned before, I'm really low on gas, so going for Templar is not exactly simple. So I think overall, I think that's all I wanted to show with this game. It's basically more of me just kind of sitting in my base, hoping that I can do something and not being able to do anything. Also behind this, he's getting up a third, and I can't do anything about it. My supply is just continually dropping. His is continuing to rise, and overall, just not a good situation for me. So what are the key takeaways from this? Number one, if you're going to go for DT play, you've got to know when you need to stop the pressure. If you continue on pressuring your opponent and don't have a follow-up to it because you expect it to win, then you're going to fall behind because you're like, oh crap, what do I do? So having that execution of what's next if it gets stopped is obviously a must-have. In this game, I probably should have expanded a little bit earlier, probably by a minute or two, rather than getting up all those gateways, because obviously he wasn't attacking me anytime soon. And then noticing the lack of gas, I probably should have checked my mineral line to realize that I didn't have guys mining gas. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Feel free to leave any comments if you want to play devil's advocate and say how would have this done. Maybe I haven't really mentioned anything that I could have thought of. Maybe you know how to deal with this and want to throw the tips out to the community. All game for that, so feel free to make comments. If you like the video, feel free to like. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you check out some of my other games. Obviously this game was not as well as some of the others played. So anyways, feel free to follow me on Twitter or follow me on Twitch. I do stream these live, and try to stream most of them live, and I think that's it. Also, feel free to check out the other streams in the description. I've got Grubby, I've got In Control, and I've got is he with Liquid Noni? I just know him as, oh yeah, it's Liquid Tyler, so Liquid Noni, I guess. Noni is in the description. Feel free to check those guys out. They play a lot of really good games, give some really good commentary on their play style as far as Protoss goes. And yeah, that's it. So I hope to see you guys in the next game.